And you're also the human in my life that keeps me sane and on track and, not walking away from this crazy world. And you give me strength and the ability to kind of put words around my emotions and figure things out. So I am so grateful for you.
Hi, Ellen. Thank you so much for popping on a quick little video with me to do a quick testimonial. You are someone that I can't stop raving about to literally everyone in my life. And
Oh,
I'm so proud of you and I'm so excited for you to share just a little bit about how our work together has been impacted. And also we can have a whole nother conversation of how what you do has impacted my life, but we'll talk about that maybe a different time, or we'll send people to the podcast that we did together. But let's
absolutely.
go ahead and let's start off with you just doing a little intro. Your name is Ellen. What do you
M-
do?
My name is Ellen Ballandante, and I am one of the founders of Deity Animal Rescue. And we are partnered with Los Angeles City and County shelters, and we rescue mostly dogs, and many of them. And Natalie, you are one of our beloved fosters, and we couldn't be doing this work without you. And you're also the human in my life that keeps me sane and on track and, not walking away from this crazy world. And you give me strength and the ability to kind of put words around my emotions and figure things out. So I am so grateful for you.
Oh my goodness. I know I've told you this a million times, but I'm really so honored to be able to support you. And we're on our eighth foster. Actually, Rocco's right here. Let's bring him on camera so he can see.
Oh, God, is he cute?
Look at him. He's like a little bear. He's glued to me. He's very attached to me, and I'm not mad about it. But you have given us the beautiful gift of being foster parents to 8 dogs so far, and to be able to support you through all of the craziness that happens in terms of mental health in the
Yes.
rescue world has been such a gift. And it's also been very fulfilling for me to be able to support you so that you can save even more animals and have an even bigger impact than you already are. So I'm just so proud of you. And I guess a great place to start is, what inspired you to reach out to me? What is it that kind of really gave you the nudge of, you know what? Let me see if Nat can help me out a little bit.
Sure. So, in the rescue world, there is something called compassion fatigue. And compassion fatigue is actually in the dictionary, and it is something that happens when you are a person who feels so much and you've decided to dedicate your life to uh, that that inspires you, which for me is dogs and animals in general. And you go into it with your heart so full and you're thinking, I can do this, I'm going to make a difference, I'm going to have impact, blah 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 blah. And just life happens, things happen, sadness happens. There's a lot of things in our world that just on a daily basis squash all of those original, excited and optimistic and all that stuff. All of those feelings slowly it gets chipped away. And it's probably, something that's inevitable. And I got to that place where I was like, okay, I'm at a crossroads.
Mhm.
Either I figure out how to deal with this stuff in a healthy way and move on so that I can continue, living my passion and having it making a difference here, or I'm going to have to walk away. And at the same time, you had started fostering for us, and you and I spent actually with my partner as well, but we spent a good part of a day together. And
Mhm.
there was just something about your energy. Part of what we were doing was very stressful. Um, And at the end of the day, when I dropped you off, I sat there thinking to myself for a minute, wait a minute. It was Natalie, to me, it was your energy that in that car ride on the way home really balanced me out. Like
I did
you
not know
really,
this. Oh my gosh, this is so sweet. I did not know this about
this
this
is,
particular
this
moment.
was the impetus. This is what it inspired my initial phone call to you.
Oh,
But yeah, you just had this way about you that was just so beautiful and so serene. And you know, we definitely talked about the situation that happened, the stressful situation that happened. You were able to talk it through with me, and you offered such like realistic and factual points, but also you offered, solutions about how I was feeling about it, how I was taking it in, the impact that the situation could have had on us. Like everything you said to me just really resonated with me and made so much sense. So when you got out of the car that day, I sat there thinking to myself, I need to have more Natalie in my life.
gosh, amazing.
Yeah. So I
So
think it wasn't that long after that I reached out and I was like, wait a minute. I had seen you had started doing reels, often.
more often, yes.
And your social media started blowing up. And I kept your reels because we have so much interaction. Whenever I would open up my Instagram, there you were. And I would take it all in. Whatever your topic of the day was, I would take it all in. And that was it. I was like, all right, she's my girl. And then
Aw.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'm just so, again, glad and honored. And I would love for you to share, of course, as much as you feel comfortable. What do you feel like I was able to support you with? I know we talked a lot about processing emotions. I know we talked a lot about self care. So, what were some of the things that really stood out to you that helped you to be able to keep moving forward? Make sure you're prioritizing yourself amongst all the crazy trauma and sadness and horrible shit that happens in the world. Like, what is it, what a couple things stand out to you of really, really supportive things that I was able to kind of guide you through?
I think actually the first thing that you said was a real big one for me. So for me, I am kind of the last person to be able to reflect on my own self and my own life and the happenings and the emotions around it. And in speaking with you, and you would, there was always like, I feel like you would give me bullet points, things to think on,
Mm.
things to even write down, and, the homework that you would give me. And it really opened up my mind as far as, okay, like this is important. This stuff is important. I need to deal with it. And here are the tools for me to do that. And I had never, even thought about things in the ways that you were offering up to me. And that was just so helpful, um, for me. And it just, the next thing you said was, taking time for yourself. The fact that you and I actually schedule a time and sit there for an hour and go through all the things, that was kind of a first for me. But being that it was you, someone who I felt like, we came from a place of, a foster, like a almost a working relationship, but I also felt like we had become friends. You just have that, you just are that girl. Like you just, people would just want to hang out with you and talk to you anyway. So that made my efforts in taking care of myself all that much easier, because it just felt like I was sitting and talking to a friend. But she's a knowledgeable friend
Mm.
who could offer a lot of good things. So
Amazing. Well, I'm was so proud of you because I remember one of our first chats, you're like, I literally have no time to myself. Like I'm always go, go, go. And it's life is really crazy when you're running a rescue. And I was so proud of you and something that we really worked on was how can we have this work be not an add-on to the bajillion things that you're already doing, but how can it be cohesive to maybe something like I remember we talked and you're like, I'm gonna think about the questions while I'm at the gym on the treadmill. Or I'm like, you were always just so open to really fitting it in to your crazy schedule. And we made it happen. And it wasn't like the homework I gave you and the thoughts, the things that I had you say, it wasn't like spend hours and hours doing it.
No,
It was just
not
like,
at all.
think about this a little bit more today. I'll check in with you on a few days, implement this a little bit, and just these small little nuggets. And you just really receive them in your heart, and you would spend the mental time to think about them and move on. And then we would process a lot on our calls, and you were feeling better and you were more decisive and you were moving forward. And so I was very, very proud of you for managing to fit in, and I was so willing to work with you on whatever we need to do to make this stuff work, to implement these tools. Like, we'll figure it out, we'll brainstorm it. You know me, I'm not like super strict, like it needs to be this way, it needs to go like this. And so having it just really fit into your already crazy schedule and the way that you're having such an amazing impact on the world, I was very proud of you for that. That was
Oh, well, thank you. But that's exactly it. The way you present these things is in such a manner where it doesn't like, I never felt like I had to be defensive. I never felt where it felt like a lot or too much or like more of like a burden on my life. The
Mhm.
way you are, the way you present things, you would just kind of drop these little lines into our conversation and these little ideals, and over the course of the next day and the next week, my mind would still hear you and your voice and your way and your energy and whatever I was doing. And it was almost like soothing. It was almost like I always felt like I have you just kind of in my back pocket or sitting next to me in the car, and just the opportunity to sit there with the information that you and the ideas and the thoughts that you had given me just made such a difference to
Mhm.
me. And you're you have this thing, you're like, if you even need to send me a voice memo during the week, like it was for you, with you, it's never about, I never have felt like it's the relationship that you have with a therapist where you feel like you have to get all your words in that 45 minutes or whatever it is. With
Mhm.
you, it's never ever been like that. You make a point of not only saying to me at the end of our session together, like, if you need anything, send me a voice memo. I'm here. And you will even, especially on the rougher weeks, you'll
Mhm.
check in. You're like, please, if there's anything you want to talk about, I'm here. So
Mhm.
that's so relaxing, refreshing and relaxing, that it's so not about um, you know, your schedule, your time, the financial aspect. You are 100% there and you are 100% committed.
Mhm. I love that. And I do it like that because I work with amazing 100% committed people like you. So it's very easy to do it for someone like you. So, I guess maybe last question, if someone's on the fence of working with me, getting some mindset support, getting some internal world mental health support, what would you say to them to kind of tip them over the edge?
Oh gosh, I think I would just have the conversation and say, listen, this is where I was coming from. This is the heavy stuff that I was dealing with. And Natalie is there to receive it all. She will sit there, she will listen to you, and the response will always be um, more than one like train of thought,
Mm.
how to think and process these things through. She will give you the tools and the skills to process, and also for the future, how to move on. And she will always be there in your back pocket
Mm.
whenever you need her.
Amazing. Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Ellen, for taking a little bit of time to share about your experience with me. Again, I'm so proud of you. Please know that I will always be in your back pocket, no matter
Thank
what.
you.
And so glad to be able to support you. And I'm so grateful that you're in my life and that not only am I able to support you through coaching, but I'm able to support the impact you're having by fostering more dogs and going to LA city councils and making some noise about the current conditions of the animal shelters. Like, it's just so awesome having you in my life.
Well, when I saw you walk in that room, I was just like, "Oh, my friend is here." I get a hug. And also, what an amazing badass you are to take time out of your life to come down to downtown Los Angeles to stand up for those who don't have a voice. Like, that in itself just shows who you are. So thank you so much. I
Of
feel
course.
so blessed to know you.
It goes both ways. I'm so blessed to know you. So here's to more having an impact on each other and on the world. I'm so proud of you. Thank you so much again. And
Thank you.
talk to you soon.
Okay, bye.